Good morning. How are you doing? How's things? Firstly, can I say thank you so much for all your birthday messages? I turned 39 yesterday, and there's a constant sort of stream on our WhatsApp group. Morning, Ruth, of 39 and feeling fine. We shall see. Hey, we shall see. Anyway, firstly, I want to say, isn't it weird how social media catches you out sometimes? So I did my Movember kind of series that I've been doing, and thank you so much for being part of it. And yesterday I just had a baby. Yeah, exactly. And isn't it funny that suddenly in the day I was like, oh my goodness, I haven't done a marketing thing for my birthday. Maybe I should have had. This is how weird, like how social media gets inside your brain. Maybe I should have had a picture of myself, with a cake or doing something. And do you know what? I just thought actually, yesterday was about being normal. I say normal, but yesterday was about having an offline life. And I think as business owners, as people who are promoting morning, there can be this pressure all the time to be showing a perfect life, to be doing all of the things. And the other day, I was thinking, oh my goodness, it must take so much coordination and camera angles and all kinds of things, like even to take a photograph of like some dinner that you've cooked. And firstly, I'm not going to take pictures of my dinner because I'm a fairly okay cook, but I do just put loads of coriander on stuff just to make it look a bit fancier. But what I've realised is actually the pressure to do all this thing as business owners, the pressure to put yourself out there consistently, is that if you're not careful, you miss the behind the scenes thing. So if you're trying to document the run, for example, which is not easy. So sometimes I've been doing a few little bits and bobs, like taking pictures of myself and run at the same time. I just don't have that coordination. Also, it's not a pretty sight. It's not a beautiful thing. And I've noticed this sometimes as well with networking events, is that pressure to be, and this is less so now because of COVID and everything else, but that pressure that I've seen people do when they work the room, like they're so desperate to get, not desperate, that sounds like I'm judging them, I'm not, but like they have a strong intention. There we go, we've reframed it. They have a strong intention to get the perfect photograph or to do a set of stories to show how amazing the situation was. And I was thinking the other day, actually, I'm hopeless at that sort of stuff. And the amount of times where I've been somewhere, or I don't know, even been with family, or we've had a lovely day with friends, or I've been at an event or a concert or whatever it might be. And I get home and I look at my phone that night or the next morning, I'm like, oh, I didn't take any photos. And that usually means that I've been having real conversations, that I've been in the moment, that I haven't been worried about all of the other stuff. And that has been where my podcast has really excelled, because when I've gone to these events or when I've shown up in groups or, worked with people one-on-one, it's not about the documentation of that experience. It's very much been about, are we connecting? Who are you? Like, let's get to know each other in that way. So during this time, when energy is perhaps a little bit lower than it usually is, I want to invite you, such a coachy phrase, I'm so sorry. I want to invite you to do the things that are actually going to showcase you being good at your job. Like, we don't have to become international bloggers. We don't have to become influencers. But what we do need to do, and what's going to create more work, is connection, is doing what we say that we're going to do, is following through, is really hearing somebody. This has been something else that has come up a lot as well, because, people are, I was saying to my friend the other day, actually, like when we trained as coaches, Nobody was really talking about this stuff. Nobody, life coaching, business coaching, it was like an undercover world. It was like we were doing something dodgy or something. Like people were like, what? Question who I am? Who are these people? Why are we trying to make our lives better? We should just stay as we are. Nobody was meditating in 2012, or if they were doing it secretly in a church hall somewhere. Not even a church hall, that would be way too public. But still it was very much at that time like we've heard of meditating. Anyway, I'm getting off the point. But what I want to invite you to do is to make a list of the things in your business that actually move the needle, that actually get a response on social media, as in you start a conversation, that actually lead to inquiries, that actually lead to people going, gosh, I really love what you do. That made so much sense to me. It's not right for me, but can I introduce you to somebody? Or could you come and do a workshop? Or could you do X, Y, and Z? And making a list really discerningly of what is moving the needle. What is this stuff that is business? Because if you can focus in that way, it will help you to work really smartly. So what you won't do, which is what I used to do many years ago, is sometimes I'd get to Friday. And this is all pre-kids and everything like that. So generally on a Friday, I'm like, oh, I am really tired. But on a Friday, I'd suddenly go, I'm really knackered, I'm really exhausted, I'm feeling really burnt out, I feel like I've worked really hard, but what have I gained? And sometimes I could look at those obvious things like, oh, I haven't had the inquiries that I want to have in my inbox. Or I'll look at my bank account, I'm like, right, well, I may as well have gone and worked in some other situation, because this, like, I'm doing my own thing, it didn't feel abundant. It certainly didn't look or become abundant in that way. So what I had to do was to get really clear what's going to move the needle. Because as we go through this time of lockdown, as we get closer to Christmas, as there's suddenly this external or internal, conscious or unconscious, like, oh my goodness, I've got to make 2020 count, that's when suddenly the pressure comes on. And when you have that pressure or overwhelm or things layering on, it can be really hard to think straight. It can be really hard to show up going, I know what I can see. It's kind of like opening a cupboard and going, oh my goodness, I can just see clothes, I can see socks. Why has my child put a fire engine in there? Like, it's all so much stuff. So that's what I want to give you today, to ask you what moves the needle in your business, what actually creates an effect. So if you imagine, because you know I love a visual, if you imagine a beautiful domino scenario, so the finger would kind of set it going. What are those things in your business? What are those tasks that really connect with people? And if you're not doing them, what do you need to do in order to do that? I'm going to have to come back because my daughter is home. Just bear with me 1 second. I will save this, but I will be back later because I've got some other bits to share. But I don't want to lose all this that I've shared. So I'll see you soon. Bye. So, in a nutshell, this is about you. This is about you going forward and really spending time on the things that matter, the things that make the difference, the things that feel good. I think there can be so many strategies out there, can't there? Like, just do this, buy this program, do X, Y, and Z. And sometimes it just doesn't fit. It feels like you're putting somebody else's shoes on, where you're like, yeah, they kind of look good on those feet, but for me, it's just not going to work. So, yesterday, I wasn't really online. I wasn't sharing like what amazing birthday I was having, because I was having an amazing birthday offline, quietly, privately with my family. So now I've got some space. Now the birthday is over and I'm not crying, like I'm very happy. You know, once a year is more than enough. But going forward, I want to gift you something that you can book with me for the next couple of days. And I am so excited to say, after a few months off, that Jam and Plan Live November is back.
I think this is the 5th or the 6th one we've done. And when I came up with it, it came from a place of what did I need? So at the beginning of lockdown, I had a couple of months where I was sort of settling into things and figuring stuff out, and nursery was closed and my partner was suddenly at home, and we were working through all of that process. And then I needed to stop. I needed to look and see what was actually going on. So I took myself to the park and I had a bit of a CEO day. And I walked around the heath and I sat down and I wrote some stuff down, and then I came home and then I sort of locked myself away in the bedroom again. And I really plotted out what was going on. And it was so incredibly useful because 2020 has felt heavy in so many ways. And when things feel heavy, when things feel like they're piling on top of us because everything's a bit unpredictable, we're not really sure what we're doing, that's when your thoughts can become quite foggy. And what you end up doing is working harder because you're overcompensating. You're trying to do all of the things, but you're not really sure what those things are. So I knew that this Jam and Plan version had legs. I knew it had power. So the first one I launched back in June was, it's still it just brings me so much joy because from June to November, I've seen how that day has had a ripple effect because my clients have told me, and also they've gone on to work with me one-on-one over a monthly period. One of them is working with me for 6 months. One of them is working with me for 3 months. And it's a really lovely, flourishing, supportive environment. So there's no pressure, of course, to work with me on a one-to-one basis, but I would love to invite you to Jam and Plan Live. It's happening next Thursday, the 19th of November. And here's how it works. It's one day with me and you as part of a group, and there's 4 sessions. In the first session, we look at reflection and clarity. So I really guide you through a process of figuring out what the heck is going on in your business. And the temptation here can sometimes be that you don't want to look. Or we get ourselves into a cycle of, I haven't done enough. Oh my goodness, I thought I'd be further on by now. Or nothing's working. Or sometimes all that mindset, all that mind chatter is speaking so loudly to us. So beginning the day with this lovely process of going, right, let's look at this. What's going on? And of course, you be in a supportive environment. And when I say group, by the way, it doesn't have to be like a kiss and tell. We don't have to kiss anybody. We're socially distancing. We're all on Zoom. But it becomes about your process through there. Me holding that space. So away from everything and you knowing that you've got that day to really take some time for you. The second one is all about money. Now, I love a hashtag of live your best life or hashtag goals or do see, I'm coughing because I'm feeling all the feels. I love all that, do what you love, live your best life, and that is really important. But I tell you what, I live my best life much better if I'm making money. Because that stress, that anxiety of bringing money into your business, it stifles you and it stifles your creativity. And actually, I got to a place with my acting that I was like, this is not all cool and rock starry and creative, like being a starving, struggling artist. No, I don't want to be worried about bills or figuring out how I'm going to make the next payment when something unexpected comes in. So this is really about thinking what's going on now, working out what your packages are, what you're offering, what's going on, and then specifically relating them to your money goals. So say your money goal, and I'm just throwing something out there right now, is $5,000 a month. And the temptation can be right, $5,000 a month. Okay, let's see if we can manifest this. And you start saying all this, these phrases. And then it gets halfway through the month and then you go, well, I'm nowhere near that. Maybe that's not possible. So by doing this workshop, it's about really strategically going, okay, if that's my money goal, how do I want to make it? And if my current ways of working are going to be too difficult or don't allow me to make the money that I want, then there's a process that you can work through to make sure that your pricing menu matches your money goals. Interesting. Number 3 and 4 are in the afternoon. And this is really about your marketing. It's about how you show up online. It's how you don't become generic and just another person on the internet. You know, in the coaching world, there's so many of them. Join this free Facebook group. This lead, do you want more leads? Do you want this? Hustle harder. You're a rock star. You're on fire. All this bullshit, frankly. And one thing that I've realised by figuring out what my talents are and what my skills and my flavour are, that's been some of the best work that I've been able to do. Because it means that I can show up from a place that feels good. So when it feels good, I do more of it. And I have a full client list. And that's when it becomes a beautiful thing. It doesn't feel like hard work. It doesn't feel like I'm chasing my tail all the time. So the way that Jam and Plan works in this magical way is it's that day of you and me. So it's 4 sessions with plenty of breaks. We start at 9:30, we're finished by 3:30, and everything is recorded. So everything will be uploaded that night. No problem at all. And then the sessions are yours. So you can use them whenever you like. This is when the magic bit is. So how many times have you been to an online event or an online situation and you go, great, oh, I feel really motivated now. Oh, I think I know what I'm going to do. I've suddenly seen loads of possibilities. And then you wake up the next morning. And then maybe you're a bit tired. Maybe you're like, well, I don't know. Could I do this? Oh, is it going to be too much hard work? Oh, I don't know where to start. And all of the obstacles or the old stories come into play, and they're not in support of where you want to go. In other words, they're sort of making you sit down. They're making you go back rather than forward. So this is where the magical bit is. A week after our day together, so until the 26th of November, you have me, unlimited, back and forth, as much or as little as you like on WhatsApp. So telling me what you want to do, what's going to be a really great use of your time. What do you need help with? Where can I support you? How can I help you to make these moves? So for example, after the first one, somebody messaged me, one of the members said, oh my goodness, she was a photographer. I just got an inquiry straight afterwards asking for her services for free. Now, when she did the money session, the second one, she was like, oh, I don't want to do things for free, or I don't want to do stuff for promotional things or for a shout out on Instagram, because she couldn't track it. And also, it was a paid chargeable service. So what happened there was she got the call, she got somebody reaching out, hello, you know, would you be interested in this? This is a fantastic opportunity, even though it wasn't. And the fact that I could be there at the end of the phone going, okay, let's be strategic. Let's think about how we work this through. Let's ease you in to your new normal where you are no longer available for working for free.
So I was so honoured to then witness her stepping into her new boundaries, her new ways of working, what was acceptable, what wasn't. And the thing is, sometimes we feel like there's going to be this magical time where we're like, oh, we're now 6 months into our business, or we're now a year into our business, so maybe I should do this, or maybe a grown-up will come and tell us what we need to do next. But for the most part, it's about really checking in with what you need to do next. What are the moves that you need to make, and where that work is to be done. So there could have been things that have been lying on your to-do list forever that actually there needs to be a decision made there of, are you going to do it, or are you going to release it? What are you going to do? Is there some fear there? Is there some other stuff going on? Why are you not making the progress that you want to make? And I'm not asking that in a very judgmental, like, why are you not making the progress? But what I am inviting you to do is to become really curious, become quite playful and go, right, what's going on here? Okay, let's just look at this. Let's take a step back. Let's do a 360 look and see what's going on. Another thing I should say is after the session 1, somebody messaged me afterwards and said they wanted to pay me more money, which wasn't what I was expecting because I set the ticket price, and she just said that the value was too good. Now, as I mentioned, I said that I would do a lovely birthday special for you. If you book today or tomorrow, November the 10th or Wednesday the 11th, you can, as part of this, so you'll have the CEO day all fully recorded, access whenever you need it. You'll have the week of email, WhatsApp support from me using whatever you need to do. And thirdly, I'm going to throw in a complimentary half an hour session just for you, just on these 2 days. So it will close UK time tomorrow at midnight. So if you want to have all of those things, also I should say it's £175, and it's incredible value. Do you know what I mean? Like, this is the thing. This is about making moves that you can actually revisit whenever you like. So you can keep coming back to this Jam and Plan session every quarter. Or if you want to look at your money in some way, you can check in and see what's going on. So I would love you to join me next Thursday. Who have we had in this session already? Well, it's generally been my lovely pick and mix versions of clients. So founders, creators, creatives, digital experts, well-being experts, journalists, app creators, technological wizards, social media experts, writers, personal trainers, photographers. What else can I think of? VAs, interior designers, so many different people. So this is going to be the combination of my work. So throughout our time together, I'm going to be giving you these 3 pillars. I'm going to be helping you figure out what your vision is. Where are you going? What's important to you? What do you want to achieve and be and do and have, and all of those things. The second is really figuring out what that strategy is. So how are you going to get from where you are now to where you want to get to? No more fogginess, no more like, we'll see what happens. You don't probably have the time or the energy to do that. Like, just wait, just experiment. So I'm really going to be guiding you to the point where you're doing the things that you want to do. Thirdly, the mindset. Because you know what? That might be the thing that is catching you out. The belief, the imposter syndrome, the who am I to do this? Oh, I'm not really sure what to do. Maybe you've got other commitments. Maybe you've got lots of people in your house that actually it's really stressful at the moment trying to work. Maybe there's some other stuff going on and cooking behind the scenes. So I really want to tell you that you are going to be supported through this process. We're going to have our time together on Thursday, the 19th of November, and then we're going to have our week together plus that free 30-minute session. Now, if you want to book for January, there is a January date available as well, and I'm very happy to extend the 30-minute session to the January as well, but only if you book today or tomorrow. So you can put everything on hold, and if you prefer to start in the new year, you can do that, but I just wanted to let you know what this lovely special birthday bonus, I was going to say Brucey bonus then, birthday bonus will give you. Any questions, for more information, all that good stuff, head over to the link, nikkiraby.com/jam and plan live. There are so many testimonials on this. If you've got additional questions, does this work for me? I'm thinking about this. Is this going to be the best use of my time? I'm all ears. You know I am. You can email me, hello@nikkiraby.com. You can DM me on Instagram. I don't usually say that, but yes, do if that's a quicker way of doing it. And I just want to sum up why this might be for you and what changes you can expect. Number 1, and if you're nodding along to any of this, this is your sign, especially if you've been waiting for the sign from the universe, from somebody, from something. This is the thing that you might need to pay attention to. Okay, by making moves, you stop being a wishy-washy person. How many people have we all met who just talk about their dreams? I'm going to do this, I'm thinking about this, I'm hoping, I'm trying. Instead, you want to be that person that makes it happen. You don't want to just hope for the best. And do you know what? That always happens with me with a birthday going by. It's like, what am I actually waiting for? What do I need to do? How do I need to get things moving and shaking? The second thing, you're going to come away with a plan. So everything's going to be really practical. So you're going to know where you are and you know where you want to get to. And it's going to be broken down. So you're not going to have all these sort of flowery words like, oh, I've just got to trust in the process. You're going to know what the process is. Also, I want to say that change can be difficult sometimes. Do you know what? It's easier to do the things that you've always done. Stay the same. You know, so many people will say that, like, I absolutely hate my job, but, you know, I've been there 20 years and I'll just keep doing that, because change can be scary. So I want you to know I'm there every step of the way supporting you. You're going to have these strategies to simplify everything. You're going to gain clarity, identifying what you want. You stop going around in circles and not knowing where to start. And I'm going to help you get really specific. So you're building a business that feels like you, that feels like it's really aligned to who you are, what you stand for, and what you want to do in this world. Also, you're going to generate options. So solutions, possibilities, opportunities that you haven't yet considered. How many times can we all sit in this moment of it's not working, I don't know what to do, I feel overwhelmed, everybody else seems to be smashing it, I'm just doing this, and this, and I'm not making the progress. What I'm going to do in this time that we have together is help you unlock that. What's going on? How could you do this in a different way? Let's flip it around. Let's add your spin on it and give yourself full permission to do that. Another thing I want to mention is you're going to become accountable. So how many times have you been to these events or done something and then you can just slip away the next day? Now, that's not to say I'm going to be on your back, on your case every day, like, get up, get out of bed, what are you doing? Far from it. But it does mean that I'm there. And if at the end of the week you haven't optimized the time with me, you might be like, oh, I should have done that. So that accountability, knowing that you have this time and space to grow your business, is going to be a beautiful thing. Finally, if you bet on yourself, if you say, right, I'm going to do this, I'm going to tell my partner or my kids that I, for 4 hours of this day, need to be uninterrupted and I need to focus on this. If I bet on myself and block out my diary to do this, see, I'm exhaling as I'm saying it. Think about what's possible. Think about what message that sends. Think about what it would be like not to be overwhelmed. Not to be like, oh, you know, I'm just doing this and I'm a bit busy and I'm this and that. Think about what it would be like to have clarity of thought. Think about what it would be like to actually know what you're doing, to start your day and go, okay, this all seems doable. Not really sure about number 7 on my to-do list. That feels a bit challenging, but don't worry, we'll get there. How would that feel? How would that change? How would that reframe? That sense of changing direction, how would that work for you? So I'm going to leave it with you, and I encourage you to take action and to have that bonus that is available for you right now. As soon as you booked, I will send you my calendar and you can book that in with me so you know what you're doing. I know what you're doing. I'll send you some pre-work in advance. Also as well, when you purchase Jam and Plan Live, there are some videos already available for you. So even though we're not meeting till the 19th of November, you can get stuck in. You can actually make loads of progress right now. So I can't wait to welcome you. I'm so excited. As I say, it's one of my favorite events that I do. Ask anybody who has done it, and I'm sending so much love, and I'll see you on the 19th. Lots of love.